Welcome back. You should be singing that for me. Welcome back. Welcome back.
You see what I have to deal
Hey
with
guys,
on a regular basis.
welcome back.
It was perfect when she was not here. Literally, we had some phenomenal guest hosts too. I hope y'all check these episodes out because they were definitely better than what this one
Okay.
will be.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Village Group Chat. I am one of your hosts, Selikka Wood.
And I'm Mike Rogers, and I'm glad to have you back.
Are you really? Because you haven't given me
yeah.
that impression all morning.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, you know how, like, I have a lot of siblings, and so there are two sisters.
Yeah.
You know,
You treat them as meanly as you do me?
At some point in time, I did, but we're cousins now.
Oh, gosh. I'm so glad to be back. I've been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We had the amazing Pastor Joy and Pastor Sean sit in for me.
Yeah, they were phenomenal. Just their presence, their the content of what they brought to this experience and episode. So you have big shoes to fill. Let's be clear.
I knew it was going somewhere.
Were you surprised?
Like phenomenal.
Were you surprised? Welcome all of our listeners, the Zion family, wherever you're listening to, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes. Our purpose behind our podcast is providing hope, encouragement, and sharing
practical tips.
Oh, you've been practicing as we navigate our family's journey.
Yes. I'm so excited to be back for this as we wrap up this last, this last part. Part 7. Is this the longest?
Yeah. No. Historically, Pastor Battle, he's done some sermon series before where he hit like parts 19, 20.
Oh, see, that's wild.
Yeah. But there was so much that you can pull from scripture. And that's, even things that were written thousands of years ago, are relevant to this day. So that's the power.
I know what you're about to say. Before we get too deep into this, how can people connect with you on social media?
Actually, I was about to go straight into. See, you haven't been looking at. I was about to go straight into the getting to know you.
No, okay. Well, let's say how people can get in touch with you on social media.
Mike J. Rogers 1. That's Instagram.
Yes, and you can reach me on no underscore ordinary.
Look at that. Messing up now.
And at the Village Group Chat on IG.
Yeah. So, getting to know you since you've been gone for a very long time.
It has not been that long, Mike. Everybody should take some time off, so don't.
They should.
Yeah.
It's critical. It's important.
It really is, especially when you run hard.
Yeah, most definitely. We've had a lot that we've been able to accomplish this year with being in the global role, the global role of the family. I keep hitting this microphone.
Yeah.
The global role of the family ministry. There were a lot of things that we had on the books, and we still have some things coming up.
Yeah.
So excited, but well-deserved vacation.
Yeah,
seriously.
thank you.
Seriously, well-deserved.
I don't need your validation.
Well, I'm trying to, extend the olive branch here, and then this is what I got to deal with.
Let's move along.
All right, getting to know you.
Yes.
What were your favorite songs from your teenage years that you still listen to now?
Man, all of them. I love all 90s music, but my favorite song is Troop, All I Do Is Think of You.
Oh, wow.
That's like one of my favorite songs of all time.
You just be crying.
No, I don't cry, but it does remind you of just like, just being in love, period.
Yeah.
But whenever it comes on the radio, and my family know I love that song. So whenever they be acting like they want to sing it, I'm like,
stop.
I am the lead. I do backup. I do every part of that song. Y'all just be quiet. Don't nobody sing.
Yeah. No, that's funny. True. That's real. That's a good one. Favorite song that I still listen to now. There are definitely moments like
you was just singing John B before we started, right?
True. So are you gonna put my business out like that? But John B, he was a beast. But I had a high level of appreciation for like rap too. Like Tupac, Biggie, some, but Tupac, the song that was just, even as I was scripting out this out episode, I don't know why, To Live and Die in LA.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I wouldn't say that's necessarily my favorite song, but with thinking about it, you can still access those songs through YouTube. Yeah. People have uploaded. So when I'm going home, I would more than likely be playing that.
It's something about it that like when you hear like songs from your childhood, it brings back like good memories or fond memories. I don't know. It's something like
the lyrics, like the way. No,
but it's a feeling though.
But so that means we are getting older. Yeah. I know you've embraced that. 41. Okay. But that's it. But it's just kind of like it reminds us of sort of where we were when we were experiencing that. So there definitely are fond memories. Again, like hands down, I can't listen to music now because just the lyrics, like it's like mumble and all that stuff. The beats are great though. I will say that the beats are phenomenal, but just this mumble rap, I can't.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I know what kind of old person you're gonna be.
Shoot.
You're gonna definitely be one of those people. Down. Back in my day.
Yep.
You already act like an old man.
I still be. Man, back in my day, because we are 4 decades in here. Yeah. Let's be clear. Yeah. Back in my day. All right, let's dive in.
Yes.
The final week of Pastor Battle's Keep Running series was this past week. And just again, I know we spoke about this, like just the ability to be able to unpack a series, like 7-part series is phenomenal. Now, I'm not walking through all of these points today. We're not walking. Yeah. I do encourage all of our listeners to go back and listen. Like, have some of those things on repeat. Even just being able to easily access those things through YouTube. And it's something that I want to make sure I factor into my everyday routine. But kind of just unpacking this part 7 of this series. His top points were, as you can see, are written down. What stood out to you from those top points that he presented this week?
Oh, for this week, it's definitely just the processing of your anger, like that time in between feeling angry and actually like acting on it. I think it's just important to make sure that we are processing what we actually are feeling, because anger is almost always a secondary emotion.
Yeah. Something that he said that I wanted to highlight. What's the bright side of the situation? Oftentimes, especially when we're in it, I don't know if we can, if we are aware that there's something called the truth, what actually happened, then it's our recollection of the truth. And it, as overwhelming as that experience can be, trying to factor in time where you are, okay, let me step back and reflect on this. Is what really happened? Was all that I am, especially if you're dealing with people and you have a negative interaction with someone who you may be close with, someone who you may love, or someone who you may kind of met off the street. Just, okay, is all of these things, did this happen? Is my account of the situation or the experience, was this said? What were people's posture? What was the look? And then even from, if this did happen, what did I learn from this experience? How could I continue to function and move forward? What are some positives out of this situation? I don't believe even in terrible situations, there's something that can be learned from that experience.
Yeah, I agree. That's been my experience too. But I also think that it's important when you are like recollecting what actually happened, that you don't allow the people around, this is another insight from me, that you don't allow people around you to gaslight you though and make you think that you didn't feel whatever it is that you felt, or what happened didn't actually happen, because people will try to do that too, to you. But I think what you said is important because you're searching for the truth of what happened. Yeah. And that is important. But at the same time, you gotta sometimes the truth is the truth, and what somebody else did to you was wrong. And it needs to be, brought to the forefront. But making sure you're clear about that makes a difference.
And you said a term that's gaslighting. Yeah. There are some people, especially when people that we may have known for a longer period of times, when something happened, we automatically run to them first. And because of our interactions, because of our friendships and closeness, it's something that they could say or how they say it. It can cause us to continue to toss fuel on that fire and get more angry about it. And so I just want to make sure, and I'm not saying you should not go to your friends, especially, but that's also the power of the village.
And wise counsel.
Community. Wise counsel.
Wise counsel isn't always the person you've known the longest.
Yeah. Good. Another point that that I thought was not just critical that he shared, trying to embrace, shred the files. Shred the files. Like, I am someone who will document, whether it's by memory or literally having documents on different experiences. I will have files on interactions. And so his encouragement was, get rid of those things.
Yeah, I ain't there yet.
Hey, that's real.
Yet.
That's
I'm not
real.
there yet. I do think that forgiveness is important, whatever it takes. But as far as forgetting, like shredding those files, them joints ain't never gonna be shredded. They might be folded up, put in an envelope, and double sealed. But I don't think that it's something we need to keep on bringing up over and over again. But I'm sure I ain't forgetting. I'm not going to forget.
Yeah.
And if somebody chooses not to forgive me, forget about mine, then, I just don't know what I could do. But I'm just not there yet where I'm going to I feel like I can be, I can forgive, but I just don't forget. I don't know no other way to put it.
Yeah, I would say it's part of the process as we continue to get older, and then even the exposure to certain tools learned through. I'm a huge advocate of counseling. It's it becomes easier, not perfect,
no, I agree.
but it helps you process things. It even helps when taking accountability. I know there are some things that I've done that has created issues or challenges for some of the relationships that I have. And as I am continuing to move further and further in this counseling journey, I'm able to embrace those things. And it's made it easier for me to say, you know what? I can't control their actions.
Yeah.
I have to let this go. My family's depending on me to let this thing go. I can't continue to function or just flick off whenever there are little triggers and things reminding me of that.
But do you think that letting it go is the same as not remembering?
Because we naturally have triggers, just when we are triggered, when we are reminded of what happens, our response should be different.
Oh no, I agree. I agree.
We that same painful. Now, because based on your interactions, I think it would be foolish if someone we trusted with some information, and then we found out that thing is blasted over and basically online, or somebody else, you were sharing that with them in confidence, and they put that out there. It's foolish for you to continue to function and react to them the same way. It doesn't mean that you don't forgive them. It's because of that tension, or because of that interaction, I can't respond to you the same way.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about even as you were talking, I'm thinking about even how Pastor Battle brought it up. He was saying it's not bringing it up every chance you get. So I think I was looking at it more in the literal term. When you think stress, it's there is no more. You have no recollection of whatever what happened, and that's not probably the way it was meant. You're always gonna remember. But I just I can move forward with some people, but this not be foolish, like you said. Not constantly bringing up people's wrongdoings. But that joint, it lives in the...
So I just want to apologize for any mistake I've made.
No.
Anything I've done.
But you know what? This kind of goes into something else, because relationships that you care about, I notice for me, I find it important to make sure I find some type of reconciliation. I don't feel like that about all friendships or acquaintances or even family members. So if you did something to offend me that I feel like I can confidently come to you and say that, it bothered me when you said whatever or you did whatever, and you will receive it and we could move through it. Everybody, you can't always find reconciliation in every relationship.
Do you feel like
people.
Do you feel like friendships are seasonal?
Oh yeah. I think it's seasonal, and I'm always open to new friendships. I think I said this before. I feel sorry for people who say no new friends.
Yeah.
Because as I've navigated different seasons of my life, I've needed different types of friends based on where I was. So it's not no love lost with my old friends, but some people just didn't didn't make the cut.
Yeah. And that's not even from a negative way.
Yeah.
But
I've changed.
The goal.
They've changed.
Hopefully you grow as you continue throughout life. You don't respond or act differently. You know, it would be a shame to be still acting the same way you were when you were like in middle school or even high school. And so because of our interactions at that season of life that I was in, doesn't mean that we're not friends.
Yeah,
we're just, it's great to sometimes catch up on those things whenever we get around. But I believe it is important also to embrace a new season of life that you're in, and making sure you're connecting with people who can motivate you and give you skills or give you tools necessary to continue to move forward.
Yeah, or just aligned with where you are at that present time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I figured I thought you were about to say something.
No. I think I think that's all I have for that. We're on the same page.
Yeah. So one more thing, then we're going to get to the kind of closing now, like sort of next steps, some recommendations. One thing that stood out to me that we just want to talk about a little bit more, the importance of rest and learning to say no.
Let me tell you, I just came up with 12 days of rest. Yes, it's important. Yeah. I think as I've gotten older, for real, even when I was younger, I didn't have a problem with saying no. Like I think it's because of my dad. Like he always taught me and my older brother like to advocate for ourselves. Nobody's going to advocate for you like you can do. And I can remember us being like little and him telling us that. And if something that grew with me as I've gotten older, maybe not as confident as in certain situations as I should have been, but I don't have no problem saying no to stuff, and I will sleep like a baby that night. I won't have no problem, and I do the same thing with my kids. Yeah. I'm always telling them like it's okay to say no. There's nothing mean about saying no, protecting your peace. Like it's a complete sentence. No. You don't owe nobody an explanation.
Yeah, no, that's real. For some individuals, myself included, it can be a little more difficult because of that relationship that you may have, or even to a degree because of the acceptance that you may be desiring. But as I've gotten older, it's been easier to say no to certain things, or maybe not right now. Like I can, or there's somebody who is better equipped to handle your request in this season of life. But for me, I keep hitting this. Okay. But for me, it's not now. Like I just can't.
And you know what? Doing my parent coach certification, one of the main reasons that adults have a hard time saying no outside of the acceptance part is because their no wasn't accepted when they were younger, when it wasn't respected. It was but people try to convince you to do something else or make you think that you're wrong or you're bad or you're mean for saying no or not complying with whatever. So when a lot of times when children are younger, they grow in their no isn't respected. They grow up to have issues saying no because it wasn't respected then. Yeah.
It's a point that because there are certain aspects of that that's real, but it still goes back to your childhood. Yeah. What was learned, what was not just learned, what was experienced. Yep. I said this the last time, more is caught than what is taught, but that is real. Those first 5, 10, 15 years, the experiences, the environment that you grow up in has such a lasting impact on your your relationship with yourself, but then also your relationship with others. It's critical.
Yeah. Yep. We got to be okay with saying no. And it's okay to, even when he was talking and he was giving an example of how he says no. And he said, unfortunately, I can't. Me personally, I stopped saying unfortunately because it's not unfortunately. Like, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. Yeah. So I even started, I'm like, I'm not apologizing for something.
I appreciate the invitation.
Because I do.
Yep.
But it's not unfortunate that I can't make it. I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kept thinking that as he was talking.
Yeah. Let me say this. I'm glad to have you back, Selikka. Delete that out, please. but no, so seriousness, because I felt like you have a lot of value that you could even just talk to some of these points. Not to say the other guests were invaluable. I felt like they were the right person for that conversation. But I'm grateful to, I'm glad you were able to get your rest. Yeah. Because I'm sure your family is better for you getting your rest.
I think so too.
That's good.
And my work life too is better for me getting rest because I ain't got. I can think
deal with me. You want to see? That's what you. All right. So in closing, what would you say to our listeners?
Look, I had something that I made a note of for in closing.
You got serious real quick.
Yes, it's a quote that I've read that I thought was so timely, and it said. Well, his name is Viktor E. Frankl, and he said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. In the pause, we have the power to make a choice that is aligned with our values and our intentions. And I felt like because we were talking about anger and just kind of like holding on to it or the way we're responding to people in anger, like there is a space in between you feeling upset and your response where we get to make a choice on how we hope for this person to receive it. Does this align with what, how God wants me to respond to his children overall, regardless of my feelings? And so I would encourage everyone to be mindful about taking that space that you need to make sure that you are responding appropriately to the situation.
That's good. That's good. My encouragement would just be the realization that your current decisions impact your family's future. Like certain decisions that you make in anger, or even just getting to the point where you're so overwhelmed that you choose to give up, that has an impact, not just on your life, but your family, generations to come.
The energy in your home.
The environment that you're trying to build and create. And then the environment that your children will make down, that they will set when it comes to their households. And Proverbs 13:22 says, a good person leaves an inheritance to their grandchildren, to their children's children, basically. And it all starts with the household. It starts with the environment that they are raised in. So I've said this before, and you will continue to hear me say, it is critical that, especially for us as African Americans, that we are inside of counseling. We are inside of an environment, a room that can give us the space to process, to move on, but then even own certain challenges or experiences or decisions that we've made. And it's freeing.
And building your village to support you in that.
Yeah.
So that you're not alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, you're not alone as you move through it.
Most definitely.
It's definitely a process, life in general. As we experience more things.
As we get older.
Yeah, you just get older and you experience more things. Some things seem more complex, and then there's other things that aren't nearly as complex as we made them out to be now that we're older.
Yeah. All right. So if they want to connect with you, I don't know why. If they want to connect with you, how can they do that?
No, I just go mom on IG.
The Village group chat, email, Instagram, or Mike J. Rogers 1.
Yeah.
We would love to tune in with you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Most definitely. Y'all have a great one.
Peace.